I think we're making some strides in the District of Columbia, but I do have to say I feel like we can go even farther. I say that because the gap for the have and the have-nots in Washington D.C. is getting wider and wider by the day. Um, this is the most powerful places in the world. Yet we're still suffering from some of the social ills that many feel every day. They don't feel like they're prospering as the city grows. In fact, they feel like they're neglected and left out of the equation. I say this to say because the foundation of any strong society and community is education. And we had a lot of conversations and rhetoric about racial inequities in this city. But in Ward 8, where the poverty is high, the unemployment is high, the crime is high, we have some precious jewels, and those are our young people. Yet in Ward 8, 10 out of 15 schools suffer significant cuts in the upwards of $10.4 million in the nation's capital, in the richest place to live in the world. I want to also speak to the need for more funding for our local hospital. Ward 8, as you know, is labeled as some call a food desert, having one grocery store. And if you count Ward 7 and 8, we have 3 serving 150,000 people. So there are days where the store shelves are not full. There's also been reports, have you seen from my colleague, Councilman McGray, where some of those foods are outdated and spoiled. So we are concerned that this council and the mayor is not doing enough to ensure the residents not get a handout, but get a hand up. And most of us are here today because someone gave us a hand up. So we need more funding for United Medical Center. And when I first got here, as you all know, I talked about the important needs of addressing public safety. When I got here, the money for prevention was at zero. We went from zero to $750,000, and here now we at 3, and some people say $7 million. But for a budget of $15.5 billion, a black life has to mean more, and any life for that matter. And so we have to do more, Chairman, to ensure that we put money in preventive work, to ensure that not only they have an education for our young people, but they have places to go and people to love them. Can I get more time, Chairman?
Without objection.
And so I challenge my colleagues that we can't wait until tomorrow. We can't wait until next week. Because last week, yet again, I had the unfortunate pleasure, twice, of visiting one young man of 15 years old who was a victim of gun violence. 3 weeks before that, a 14 and 15-year-old in Kramer Middle School, both victims of gun violence. Another young man on Gazinga Street last week, a victim of gun violence. And I assure you that the district can turn this around with the right resources and being intentional and being honest and not just saying crime is down. Crime is down. Yeah, it's down. It's down the street, around the corner, in our hallways, in our schools, in our community. So we have to do more. And lastly, because I can keep going on and on about the disparities in the city, but housing. People can stay here and vote here and live here and shop here if they don't have housing here. And the number of calls I get about the Virginia Williams Center, about our city services not supporting residents who are coming to them who need to support the most is simply outrageous and disheartening. We as a city can and should do better. And I know my colleagues have good hearts. I think I have a decent amount of people I serve beside, and we have more in common than we do apart. And so together we can turn this tide. As I close, and I end with my slogan. It says, don't just stand there, do something. So I charge each and every one of us to do something. As I talked to Alyssa Silverman today, and I said, heavy is the head that wears the crown. We wear that crown. The people are dependent on us to make our city prosperous, not just for a small few, but for everyone. Thank you.